Collective, let's clear some smoke. Today's topic, we're going to take a look at what are they holding back. So let's get right on into it. I do hope that all is well and that you are doing well, my dear. So Divine, let's get some cards out, please, for energy, main energy regarding what are they holding back. Best cards, please. Let's get two more. Okay. All right, my dear. Oh, no, oh. We got a lot more. So we just go ahead. It's one of my classic old school favorite readers. So we're just about to let this thing pop off. Let's let it pop off. If you know, you know. He's an all-time classic. He is an all-time classic. Beloved by many. Okay. Ooh. Well, they holding back a lot. And you up here trying to I can't see. What do you want from me? Huh? What do you? Okay, I hear you. Let's get into it. So laugh is in reverse. You know, nobody makes me laugh. You and I need some fun. Well, they keeping happiness and contentment from themselves. Why is themselves? Then sabotage is in reverse. I'm deliberately working to undermine your efforts. Ooh. Curious, I'm intrigued and want to learn more. Check in. I want to catch up and make sure everything is going well. This is a problem here. Past, I still haven't gotten over what occurred in the past. Support, I'm here to support and elevate you. And then gaslight, I will deliberately manipulate your perception of reality until you are doubting your own experience. Well, I be, tale as old as time. This energy makes its way around the world at least 2 times a day, sunrise and sunset, unfortunately. Okay, what we have here is a person that is too lazy to state that they are not enjoying themselves in the connection at this time. So they're making up excuses in order to go and be curious. See, this is the only card that's upright. They're curious about a situation that they're tapping into. Probably more virtual, digital than anything else at this point, because they don't really want to be caught red-handed doing something, and they keep going back and forth with you, gaslighting, holding back things that really are keeping them happy with you. They're trying in their own way essentially to create a rift so that you will start the fire, and then they can fan the flame to burn it all down. That's why this gaslight energy is here. They're hiding. The thought kept coming is that they're keeping aces up their sleeves here, and they're throwing them like gambit, kind of cut, and they're getting more and more support from this past person that they're tapping back into. You may know who this is. Okay, there's probably a little bit of shade going on here. And this person, now what could have happened in an extreme situation is that you ended up catching this person's eye and taking them away from this person that they're curious about now. And it's been a decent amount of time. I'm, feeling, somewhere between a year to 3 years or so. And now they're circling back. Now, this could be a person that they have some type of tie connection to that keeps them bound or in bond with each other too. And it's easy for them to slip and dip and do little things here. Okay, but it could also be something that can simply be that they were talking at one point in time, virtually never really, they connected maybe once or twice. And so now the other person is free to go or free to play, and this person is behaving as if they are free to mingle. And this gaslight energy is the last thing, and this is what's driving you insane, because every time you get, in terms of your energy, being curious about what is all this hidden agenda shit, right? If you got something you want to say, if you're not satisfied, if you're not happy, if you don't want to be here, if you just want to do something else, if you want to believe that the sky is purple when we all can see, the majority of people say that it's blue, then just say that. It's like, I feel an energy of like, I'm really done with this. And it may be something that is recurring with this person, not necessarily in them being unfaithful, but just in terms of how they play their game of life, period. They're always trying to, they think they're smarter than everybody else, and they can get people to kind of like, they feel like they're like a puppeteer or shit. Like if they're watching X-Men, this motherfucker, they Magneto. Old school X-Men. New school is good too, but I'm talking about old school X-Men. Jaws. Sir Ian Kellen Magneto, not new fine Magneto. What is his name? He fine, no. Anyway, let's get into the details. Deep breath, babe. Open heart, open mind. See what the divine wants and needs you to know about this situation. Let's get you some details. Let's go deep. Let me have, divine, if you don't mind, can we have 12 cards, please? Yeah, a lot of subterfuge here. Last card, please, divine. Adult beverages. An adult beverage is basically taking a big long sip of some truth here, so that you can gain an understanding of what this all means for you and how this is going to make you better. Okay? All right, darling, so let's look and see here. Let's take a little look-see. This Eight of Wands, Moon card, and the Queen of Swords in reverse. They want to give off the illusion that they are not in a rush all the time. There's something about the way that they're moving as of late that is absolutely opposite of how they move. They're too calm. They're too cool. They're too... And this has recently happened. It's almost like they've just really, really cooled their jets. And this is that part about them thinking that they're slick. Okay? Is that they're like, well, let me just try to, let me unruffle my feathers. Okay? Let me smooth out. A person gets up and they adjust their clothes. And they're like, let me just, am I high? Do I look high? Remember that episode? Or what? Not episode. In Friday with Craig, I look high? Do I look high? Like, you know what you're doing. And you think that everybody else around you is like, well, everybody else gonna know I'm, trying to sneak something in the room or do something. Like, nobody know but you. And you sweating. And the fact that you know is giving off signals that something's off. Hence them trying to play this whole cool thing, or maybe you all had come out of a very argumentative state because they're getting puffed up from this person that they're getting this support from to do these wayward things and have these wayward conversations with you and just be a wayward mother all the time and thinking that they're getting over. Okay? I mean, I respect your hustle, but it's not working. Okay? But it's cool. You think it is, so let's play along. Best thing you can do to your enemy is let them play it all the way out to their version of the end game. See how they're thinking, see how they're moving, because you already know that they're on something. Something's amiss, but they think that everything's going fine. So let it play. Let it play. Okay, it's like when you're having a conversation with somebody and they're getting up, let them finish. That way you can completely hear what they're saying. Like, oh, okay, you can think about it. Don't think about your response. Just don't listen to respond. Just listen to know. I need the knowledge. Give me some information. Open that book up. Let me see what's going on. So with this 8 of Wands here in the reverse, this moon card, this is where nothing's being hidden from you. Every time something goes off, you are intuitively and empathically connected to your divine, because you know you out here in the wilderness by yourself, and the only one who's walking with you through this valley is the divine, is God, are your angels, your ancestors, your guides. So you know you are pretty much, they put you in this desert, and they think that they're gonna just like, but they don't know that you carry the oasis of the divine inside. So you're not gonna go thirsty. You're not gonna go hungry. You're never gonna be cold. You're never gonna be too hot. You're gonna always be the right temperature. Your glass is always gonna be full. You're never gonna be dehydrated. Like, that's not happening. But they think that, and it's important to let them think that. Now, this Queen of Swords in reverse is energy of supreme strategy. What you must do in this moment, is what I'm hearing from the divine, is remain calm. Be guided. Be guided. Okay? Just because you know does not mean you should behave as such. The 3 of Wands is in reverse. There's nothing else for you to see or know or to come in over the horizon. Everything that you need is here. It's already arrived. There's nothing else to look for. You know the truth of what's happening, and nothing to deny. Okay? Now, the 3 of Cups and the 7 of Wands. Remember how that energy wrapped the first time? Curious and then checking in and all this other stuff. So they are hanging out. There's a third party that they're bringing into it, but what they're doing is they're masking it by saying they're hanging out with other people, and this other person is then there or involved in some way. Okay, the main part of their connection is done digitally, meaning they're texting most of the time. But when they can create this, remember, this person creates this illusion of calm with you. That's how they are able to step out. They know if they argue with you or get you into a tizzy or get you focused on them, it's going to get you focused on their whereabouts and how they move, where they're going, who they're with. They know you're going to watch their story. But if they get everything kind of calm and smooth things out, you'll fall back into the cycle, and it'll be fine. And nothing outrageous is happening. Whatever they're planning, they spend hours outside of the home doing it, or hours outside of or hours of unavailability. Whatever they're doing is something that they claim that they're doing with their group of friends, or they very well may be doing with their group of friends and bringing this person along. It's not something quick. It's hours. I don't know why I get like a golf outing. You know, you get a tea time at early morning, y'all out for hours. It's hours to play golf, especially if you're doing a whole 18. And yeah, but that's a little bit up front. They may play 9 holes in the morning, and the rest of the time they doing 9 holes somewhere else. The 7 of Wands is here, where, interesting, when I saw that, I thought Wayne Gretzky, but Wayne Gretzky is actually he's not a goalie, but anyway, hockey is what came to mind, and that's there. Actually, is this field hockey? Looks like field hockey. Could be either or. Let's move on. Point is, this person is very much they swat away any types of questions or anything else, or they try to beat you to the punch and answer it before you would ask. Again, this is their confidence and feeling that they know you so well that they're going to answer it before you ask. Oh, honey, before you ask, no. Oh boy is not coming, or oh girl's not gonna be there. I know you don't really like her, so no, she's not gonna be there, honey. Don't even, nothing to worry about. I'm not gonna be drinking too much. I'm not gonna be a bad influence. Like, almost to like, I'm being a good boy, I'm being a good girl type energy, right? No need to worry, honey. No need to tap in, because there are certain people, like, for instance, if my girlfriends go out with me, married especially, their husbands are not going to tap in or check in, because they already know read on deck. So everything cool from start to finish. We good. You're gonna be good, because me and my friends, we watch out for each other. We do not allow each other to get out of pocket in a way that would disrespect anything we have going on. Anything. Me and my friends can level each other with the look like, oh, okay. Let's put the cuckoo back in the clock, sis. We getting a little bit out of pocket. So that's the type of energy going on with that. Now the Wheel of Fortune, 5 of Wands to the Strength card here. They took a they're thinking to take a gamble here. And this 5 of Wands is where it's going to seem like the argument is going to seem like they're arguing for more information on this to this Strength card. It's Wheel of Fortune to this 5 of Wands. Okay, I don't want to speak out of turn. Okay, so this is why I love this deck. You see how the 5 of Wands is a card of conflict. Doesn't necessarily have to mean you're in conflict in a negative. It just means that you're willing to fight for what you want. Okay? And you could be ruthless about it. The Wheel of Fortune and the Strength card is flanking this energy. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is this, but notice that the roulette table is the example of the Wheel of Fortune here. And they're willing to spin the wheel on this situation and try to take a gamble to pull themselves away to start this situation with this other person and keep this 2 of Cups in reverse to this 9 of Cups in the upright. What they want is for you against that energy that came up. When I said this energy rotates twice a day. Sunrise, sunset, where a person is going to try to get you to a place of where you're overwrought or overwhelmed or so very tired with being neglected or whatever else. And they've created this dynamic in order to get you to break up with them because they cannot be the bad guy, even though they've been hiding stones behind their hands. The call is coming from inside the house, but they're going to gaslight you to the point and be so insidious about it. You know, they gently reject any activities. They're home, but they're not. They're in the house, but they're not at home. There's never a conversation. You know, it's almost like you have your roommate energy. They're not going to cause any disruptions. They're not going to, they're going to keep everything neat and tidy or just how you like it, but they're just not there. They're going to push your hand to do something to either get them to a state of saying they can't be with you anymore, because that's more than likely they're going to try to push every little button you have to get you to it's like, it's just so boring. And all along, they've been the one pushing that narrative, creating it, if you will. The Fool card is here where they do really think you'll suck a chump and that you're going to take the leap and dive off that edge. But remember in the classic tarot where the little dog is like, hey, no, not yet. No, don't jump. That's what they want you to do, to jump into the abyss. The 9 of Cups, that would make them so very happy if you told them that you needed a break or whatever the case may be, and then they can go off and do what they want to do with this person, get their fill of things, and potentially circle back to you depending upon what your situation and your arrangement is with this person, and if it benefits them to the point that their life and lifestyle would be severely interrupted by not being with you. So you'll know the details of that. But they want a hall pass in a way. Okay. The Strength card, this 10 of Wands, this Page of Pentacles, excuse me. They expect you to swallow their BS. They know that your love for them is extremely strong, and you constantly carry the weight and the load of being with them. They've kind of and I'm using this word delicately, but it will have the most impact. They've kind of groomed you to dealing with them, and they feel like you are so in sync with their program that you just will work tirelessly to make sure that you guys are together some kind of way. Okay. And that may have been what it is in the back, in the past and in the background. Like perhaps this person has a little bit of something more than you did. And so you always felt you may have told them very early on when you were younger at heart and less experienced in the world. You told them that them being with you meant so very much to you in a certain type of way. You've never been exposed to this type of atmosphere, or you never thought you could be with somebody like them, or da 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 da. And that was true, and that was from the heart, but you didn't realize that this person had manipulative tendencies. It was super, super early, and you wanted them to feel good and to know, that's what it meant to you. It probably did. It was, anyway, that's what you wanted them to know. And now that they know that allowed them to groom you in a certain way, right? Or groom the relationship, groom your behavior. There we go. Thank you. Groom your behavior towards them and in the relationship in a certain way. There's a slight imbalance of power and equality in here. And it tips in their favor. Or so they thought. Page of Pentacles here, the Temperance. But now you realize that you are just as much. When they got you, you were just a block of marble. But the angel is in the marble, right? Divine is here, been sculpting away. You have learned a lot and done a lot and seen a lot with this person. Emphasis on you have learned a lot. You have seen a lot. You have done a lot. You did it. You and the divine. And now that you can see yourself clearly, you realize that now that I've leveled myself up, now I need to determine if it's time for me to take off. Temperance. But you must be patient, because this person is moving in a certain way. And they're good. They haven't exposed everything just yet. But the Wheel of Fortune is also energy of it's going to come to pass. They're going to get cocky in some way. The person that they're dealing with, again, seems like an old school fool. Somebody that they more than likely learned this game from. Everybody's got a master. Everybody's got a mentor of madness, depending on what's going on. And this person took it on, and this is somebody that they like how you have that energy towards them of being, your behavior being groomed. This is where they learned it from. There we go. This is whom they learned it from, excuse me. This person might be a little bit older than them. And I mean a little bit. All right, so Divine. Now 5 cards for strategy moving forward. Well, let's play. You want to play? Let's play. The escape clause. This person doesn't know that you found the loophole here and that you're on to them and that energy early on. Let it play out. Let it play. Okay. Look for the patterns. They're there. They are absolutely there. You're gonna have to pull your that's why the Queen of Swords is in reverse. You gotta be cold. You have to really kind of disconnect your romantic notions about this person, because that's what's going on right now. It's just romantic notions of, no, this is not some romance novel playing out that's going to be this dark story, and because you've seen this before with this person, and that energy has been lingering this entire session. Like they've done this before. It's probably with this person, probably very early on, and then it became like, oh, it's a mistake, and it seemed like, oh my God, they chose me over them. I must be. No, the other person didn't want their ass, and so you, unbeknownst to you, were the consolation prize, but they made it seem like they turned their back on this other person because you're better than this other person. But that's That's the story they fed you, which then, of course, allowed them to groom the behavior and how you treated them in a relation, how they treated you in the relationship, and how you treated them. Because you always felt like I'm the prize. It's easy to do that. Again, but baby, don't even try to look at the mirror and say how you could be stupid. You're not being. This is the hustle. As much light as there in the world, there's gonna be people that like to move around and crawl and snarl and snag in the dark. But the light cannot exist where the dark is, okay? Or the dark cannot exist where the light is either. So you see what I'm saying? You just coming into the light. So the Hermit and the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Think about what you want and do it quietly. If your circle of friends is intermingled, there's no one that you can, there's no person within the group that y'all both know that you can talk to. This person is, they're dangerous. They got eyes and ears everywhere. People have this like, don't talk about this movement energy of what you're thinking and feeling about this person with someone that they know in any way. I don't give a shit if it's the girlfriend of one of their friends or vice versa. No one that's interconnected. No one, when you talk to anyone that's other than the divine or God, your angel, however you do that, however you tap in with the divine creator, you cannot speak to anyone that you are in any way connected to. You gotta get a landline, honey. You gotta call in somebody that in no way is interested or will go back and deal with this person or talk to them or be connected to them. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And you got a few people like that. You've just put them on the shelf because this new life and lifestyle that you've been living didn't involve them. But they've not gone anywhere. They understand. You may be thinking, I can't type into these people. They probably won't even talk to me. Of course, they just been waiting on you. Three of Pentacles in reverse. They don't expect that you're going to be able to deal with anyone else because this is how they keep eyes on you and what you're doing too. Especially this thing about it keeps coming up about a couple or a few people that you all hang with and y'all keep the conversation going. Got the group chats going. Don't change any of your activities with that. Tap in, whatever y'all do, conversate, whatever the case may be. Keep that going. They need to feel like they are in control as you plan your deliverance. Now, with the Sun card in reverse, do the things and the hobbies that make you happy. Okay, because again, you're going to be coexisting with this person in some shape, form, or fashion. And you need to keep your energy and your spirits up and alive. You cannot put yourself into a dark place because you will not be able to hear divine's call when it's time to make certain moves. You need to keep your energy lifted. So if whatever it is that you do that keeps you in a positive space, whether it's reading, writing, arithmetic, running, going, whatever it takes to do something that is productive for yourself, that keeps you in a positive and a state of contentment for yourself personally, do those things and keep those things quiet to yourself. Okay. Don't draw attention to yourself, because as soon as they start seeing you get into a place of balance, they're going to try to find a way to disturb it. It has to look like it's serving them. Have a few things to do. If you're hanging out with people that are not a part of the circle, do not talk to them about that. That's going to set up their alarms, and then they're going to want to be involved, and it's going to be a whole problem. So, no. The Star card here, and this is going to facilitate your healing. And then the Seven of Swords, again, that strategy. It's going to be a strategy on your part to smoke them out and expose the lie, because they're going to get more confident and they're going to slip. And you're going to have an option to see them in action. And then it's going to be like, checkmate, motherfucker. Now spin this, doctor. Spin it. Let's see. Okay. All right. That is your session, darling. I do hope it was of help to you. I do appreciate your time and your most valuable attention. And do remember that back then is not now. Always be in harmony with your surroundings. Stay sucker free. Hope to see you again.